No, just keep going. We're doing a cold open.
Cold open, huh? So if for y'all listen, I'm wearing my new Pack 'em Out apparel hat. It looks like the MLB logo, but it's not. It's someone packing an elk out.
That's legit. Where are they based out of?
Based out of Colorado Springs, Efren and Jeff. Uh, I'm blanking on their last names. I'm sorry. They help run Western Hunt Fest. I
Okay.
think it's mostly Efren's company, but I believe Jeff helps out as well. I could be wrong. So Jeff Efren, I'm sorry if I get this wrong. Um, but we were at Outdoorsman Days this past weekend down in Florence, Colorado, at Pathfinder Regional Park. So this is the second one we've been to. Last year we went to. It was the second annual one last year, and it was the guy who puts it on. His name's Dan Gates. He's the big guy who uh, who's the executive director of Colorado, responsible for wildlife management. He's the guy who is the big forefront of to stop the Prop 127 this past year. And so this year it was kind of on the same lines as the topic of like, hey, we need to save the hunt because, well, we got more stuff we got to deal with here in Colorado because it's just nonstop. So
Right.
he's pretty much turned Outdoorsman Days into like a save the hunt events and just getting different people out there, different hunting celebrities out and just talking. Like there's different stages, there's two different stages, and they're having people run something every hour. Like there was these people were talking about ham radios for an hour. Then there was a bear skinning being done for an hour. Then there was elk calling, and then there was woodworking. Then there was backcountry hunting. Just different type of stuff that these celebrities, or you can call them hunting celebrities if you want, or these just well-known hunters have been around for a long time. And like you had the like CPW, the game warden Zach, he was doing the bear skinning. Um, and it's just like that type of stuff. Then there's vendors. There's a chuck wagon dinner, chuck wagon lunch. It was a 2-day event, Friday, Saturday, and so yeah. And then the banquet on Saturday night, and it was a lot of fun. It was towards a good cause. I had a table with or a table, a tent with caribou gear down there. Chelsea did adjustments down there. So overall, it was a good weekend.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Wasn't it like last year? Cam Haynes was there. He was like the big
Yep.
name.
Yep,
Yep.
last year Cam Haynes came. Derek Wolf was there last year as well. Um, but yeah, it was it was interesting because like my thought process. I was talking to Ted about this. Uh, I wonder how big it's going to be this year, just because like the big name like Cam Haynes is not going to be there, type of thing.
Right.
And he was telling me, he goes, sometimes he goes, those type of events just need 1 year of that type of person showing up, and then people will continue to show up every single year because they realize how cool of the event it is.
Yeah.
And plus
Everything
the
else
event,
stands out too.
yeah, and plus the event is for a good cause too. It's like it's around Save the Hunt here in Colorado.
Right.
Um, so yeah, this year I think it was definitely bigger this year for sure. More people showed up. We did great sales wise for Caribou Gear. Um, I think partially that was because it was August and well, season's right around the corner. But also uh, it's like probably part that and then part um, just people were just, I guess I don't know how to say. I guess didn't feel pressured to buy stuff. They just knew the, hey, it's going to be a place with vendors. Like they know
Mhm.
they're going to probably buy something anyway.
Yeah.
So kind of like Mile High Hunt Expo or any of the expos out there where you know you're going there to purchase something.
Right.
So which I'm not saying like that's not like tack or anything like that because tack is definitely like that.
Right.
But I feel like you get it less at TAC because people are more there to shoot. Then they'll like look around and be like, what do I need type of thing right now.
Yeah.
And then now, since hunting seasons are right around the corner, people are like, okay, I need to buy this. Why not buy it now for 15% off instead of paying full price with shipping?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. No, I think like like a tack style event, it's more like 75-25, like 75%, or maybe even greater difference, but 75% of it's like I'm going there to shoot. I paid my money, my entry fees, my travel, all this, that, and the other thing to go shoot my bow at the targets
Mm-hmm.
for the day or whatever, the weekend. And like 25% of it's like, okay, I'll consider opening my pocketbook for something that I feel like once I see it, I'll know I need it, but going into it, I don't think I need anything. But I'm willing to open, like 25% of me is willing to open my pocketbook. Whereas you go to something like Outdoorsman Days or an expo or something like that, it's like, okay, you paid your entrance fee or whatever, gate fee, $20, $30, and you're going there for no other reason than to be willing to pay for something
Right.
or
Exactly.
happen to learn something. So,
And Outdoorsman Days was cheap. It was $5 a carload.
yeah, there you go.
So it's cheap. Shoot, our booth fee was $75.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's I mean, obviously like very reasonable, but I think they'll get a lot of the money from the banquet because it
Mhm.
was $70 a ticket for the banquet. There was like 450 seats total, and it sold out quick. Um,
Nice.
but then you have the live auction. People are
Yeah.
bidding on stuff for 4 or 5 grand.
Right.
So a lot of that money is obviously like they don't make their money off the booths; they make their money off the banquet
Yeah.
for
Banquet
sure.
live auction, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Very nice.
And plus, like in the banquet, like you have to like they have the game where it's like a trad bow, and you have to like shoot the ball that's like hovering in the air. You have to pay $20 for 4 shots, and a bunch of people did that. Or you had this like fun gun game where it was like 10 things of ammo for $20, and you had to try to shoot or whatever. Um, so it was all fun. So
Yeah. Nice.
yeah, but
Right
well,
on.
we kind of just did a cold start there.
Yeah. I'm trying something new here. May as well.
So what has Justin been up to? Justin has something. He bought something. Pretty, he's pretty pumped about it.
Yeah. Fired up. Fired up. So I meant to bring in the a comparison broadhead, but I have it hooked up here. I've been talking about it on here and on the socials, but this is the Ranch Fairy 200 broadhead. It's tough head broadhead. Yeah, it's much bigger, like beefier than the Iron Will. I would want to say, I mean, obviously the specs show that it's bigger, but like when you have like a side by side comparison, this thing is like it looks like a old school arrowhead, like really old Indian arrowhead compared
Mhm.
to like the Iron Will. It's definitely longer, a little bit wider, um, closer to that like 3-to-1, 3 inch long to 1 inch wide ratio. But like I don't know, it just looks and feels deadly to me. Not that the Iron Will didn't or doesn't,
Mhm.
but like this thing, like just looking at it on there, it's like I have so much confidence, like just in looking at it. It's like that thing is a freaking mamma jamma on there. It is ready to go. And I got the bleeder blades to go with it. That's like an optional thing on a lot of the tough heads. So I went in and got those as well. So yeah, I'm fired up. 200
Hell yeah.
grains, and then I forget how many grains the bleeders are, but yeah, I have not fletched my gamers yet. I haven't really been shooting or doing too much with these lately. It's been freaking. We were under extreme heat warning like a week or two ago, so it was
Uh-huh.
like heat index of like 115, 120. like almost 120 for like a week, and then heat
geez.
advisories and yeah. So it's been like, I get done with work, and by the time I get home, it's like I don't think I'm going to go out and shoot the bow or anything like that. And then by the time like the sun goes down, it's like, it's still kind of hot, and I really don't feel like going out. So yeah,
Right.
not a whole lot of shooting, not a whole lot of because I still need to bare shaft tune these, and then broadhead tune and fletch them and all that good stuff. But that will come. The weather is lightening up, getting a little bit cooler, so I'll get around to doing that stuff here soon. But yeah, they the broadheads are in. They've got me excited. So deer season for us, we're like a month and a half away. It's opening weekend. Like the true opening weekend is the last weekend of September. The last weekend of August, though, is the velvet deer hunt here. So it's like private land only, buck only. And so I don't have access to private or anything, so I'm not partaking in that. So my opening day is until the last weekend of September. But then my opening day is after Brooks's wedding. So
Sorry, folks. Yes, having a September wedding.
yeah, dang it. No, that's all right. It's like really hit or miss. Like you either know exactly what the deer are doing and you jump in their opening weekend and you get one, especially the way I do it, I guess, being on public land. You know, if I were on private land, I'd be like, oh, whatever, doesn't matter. Even if I do know what they're doing, I'm going to wait until this time or whatever. But hunting public, it's like, unless you know exactly what they're doing, you're scouting the crap out of them in person and seeing where they're coming and going and all that stuff. You have just as much luck on opening day as you do the 10th day or pre-rut, post-rut.
Right.
So it's it's not a big deal on that. The rut is a lot more fun to hunt anyways, so save up my hunting days, put them in the bank.
When's the rut for you guys?
It's been like the first couple weeks of November,
Okay.
the last couple years.
Yep.
So pretty typical with most of the country. Like farther south, it'll be later. Like when I was in Louisiana, I want to say it wasn't until like late November, if not early December.
Probably because it's warmer.
Yeah, it's warmer. Things are just different. And some people say that when it's warmer, they go into rut earlier. I don't know, but I will say this: we saw a fawn Saturday, maybe Sunday, but we saw a fawn out driving around. Caitlin saw it. She's like, "Oh, there's a deer in the yard, or whatever. Not our yard, just out driving around." And it was like, "Oh yeah." And I looked. I was like, "Oh, that is a fawn. Fawn. Like that thing is like its elbows were touching, and it was like it's standing there like kind of shaking." I was like, "That thing looks like it was just born like this morning."
Oh wow.
Which is like really late. I feel like I forget the gestation period of deer, but like, obviously, so, November to a few weeks ago or like a month ago, whatever that is when they were born. And so a majority of them are born, but like this one was like a tiny fawn just born. And so
Right.
it's had to be like a second rut or secondary rut, tertiary rut. I don't know. People always say, oh, there's like 3 ruts, whatever. But this was a late bloomer for sure. Like that doe had to have gone into heat as late as any other doe and got bred. So, yeah, very interesting. So but anyways, typical first big rut is like first part of November.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's already the middle of August, and before it's a week and a half, 2 weeks away from September. First week of September, we'll be up in Wyoming for my dad's Hall of Fame induction thing, and then 2 weeks after that, we're back for Brooks's wedding, and then like 3 weeks after that is Halloween, and then it's not 3 weeks, but it's gonna be a little bit It'll feel
Yeah.
like 2 weeks. It's just gonna
Yeah.
boom, 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 and then before you know it, it's the rut. Then it's Christmas, and then it's wintertime. Like it's full on wintertime, and
Mhm.
times are flying, man.
Times are flying. Yeah, that's for sure.
What's your hunting situation looking like for elk and such?
Well, that's a great question. I have an idea. I probably should have made the idea sooner, but whatever. I'm, I'm, and I know there was this one podcast where I said I was going to get out and scout. That never happened. I had other stuff come up,
I
unfortunately.
wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, unfortunately. So I think I'm gonna see if I can even get out. Maybe I can get out to um where at the one at least this area that's at least close to home for a day. I'm gonna try the next couple weeks. We'll see. But maybe I just could get off work and just head there right after. But so I'm gonna actually have a lot of time to hunt this September,
Yeah.
and because I put in my notice at work, and my last day is August 29th.
Wow. Going
Mm.
full time outdoorsman.
Full time with caribou. It's
There
coming.
you go. Yeah, that's exciting.
So it is. So I think what I'm gonna do, because my bachelor party is actually Labor Day weekend, and Labor Day is the first this year, and I'm not, uh, or elk season's not till the second. So I probably won't get out there on the second, but at least the third, fourth, and fifth, I will get out, um, and probably just tent camp
Yeah.
up up there for the first few days. I might stay a fourth day. We'll see. Honestly, because that's a Tuesday is opening day. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be freaking pressure as all hell. So I might just skip out on those 2 days. But at the same time, like, do I? And then maybe do I come back Monday? I don't know. Also, was able to find a spot out on the western slope, potentially be able to use. So I'm trying to plan that out. So I might stay out there for like a week as well. Um, but at least try to get out for the first few days of the season. That's during the week. There's going to be definitely a lot less people out. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some people, but not that first weekend. That first weekend will be nuts.
Yeah. No, I mean, from my understanding of like elk opening weekend, it's like it doesn't matter what day it opens. Like you're gonna have a decent amount of people, but like you said, that first weekend for sure is gonna be like packed.
Yeah.
On public land for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I've been e-scouting, so I've been trying to figure out some spots e-scouting wise, but you know how that goes. You gotta go to those spots too.
Yeah.
Um, but so figuring that out, so I think I'll have the first probably about the I pretty much have the first 3 weeks of September to hunt, and
Yeah.
then that last week is wedding week, so it'll be very difficult. So I have a lot of time to hunt.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing.
Make sure
So
you get
I'll
your
be,
honeydews done though in between.
yes, I'll be. So what will probably happen is I'll go out for 3 days to start and be like, all right, cool. For first 3 days, let's go. I'm pumped. I'm excited. And then leave Friday, get done Friday night, leave Friday night, pack up, leave, go home for a few days, kind of reevaluate some things, and then probably try to head out to a different spot. Unless that spot wherever I was at was super good, I'm not. I am totally okay with staying where I was hunting first if it's really good and like I had some good opportunities for some reason. But if
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I'm like, okay, I need to find something else. Like I've been listening to a lot of things like where it's like, hey, like if the elk aren't there, you got to go find the elk. Like
Yeah.
can't like yeah they may they might be during the whole month of August in that same spot over and over and over again. But once September hits, they're in the next zip code.
Right.
It's like
Something changes
it's
for them.
yeah. Something change. It's not like deer where you hear all these stories about like whitetails, how they'll be in the same spot every single year at that
Yeah.
one day at the exact same time.
Right.
And you're like, you can get them there. Like, yeah, not saying hunting whitetails easier because it's extremely difficult because they're super jumpy, but um, but when it comes to elk, it's like you can't really rely on them being there. So you got to just be willing to find the elk. Whether and I've heard it from this guy I shot with at Western Hunt Fest a couple weekends ago. He is an extremely good elk hunter. He's a trad bow hunter. The dude's ridiculous with it, and I was very fortunate to shoot with him because he's. It's funny because like his like bad shots are like good shots for me.
Yeah.
And I know it's trad bow, so he gets closer, but obviously you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm.
But just listening to him talk about hunting elk is just like he was. It was just it made sense. It's like, hey, like yes, it's good to go deep into the woods, but how many elk did you pass trying to go deep into the woods?
Right.
You know, vice
Yeah.
versa,
Gotta
right?
be where the elk
So
are.
it's just, huh?
Got to be where the elk are.
You have to, like, because it like, what's the point? Like, yeah, cool. You walk in 10 miles, great. You shoot an elk. Now you got 10 more miles of packing that thing out. Have fun.
Yeah.
You probably just wasted meat. So
Unless you have a
So, yeah,
caribou
it's-
gear bag.
unless you got caribou gear, of course. Um,
Plug.
so I think this year, for me, I don't care if I get an elk or not. I'm kind of like last year. I more care about just getting more reps in, whether that's trying to find elk, whether that's looking for sign, whether that's finding different areas. Just put in more reps because I know eventually it will pay off. And if it pays off this year, great. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to be mad at all. I'm going to be like, cool, I got a lot of hunting in this year. I know what I need to do next year now.
Yeah. Yeah, just to be in the hunt, like you said, learning what the sign looks like, especially for you who, you're very, very new to it within, a couple of years only under your belt.
Yeah.
Just understanding what the sign looks like, what fresh sign looks like versus old sign, because you can see a track and, to be able to tell the difference between a cow track and a bull track and a fawn and like an adult and stuff like that, or calf and an adult. Just to be able to see those things and understand them and, in the flesh, as opposed to, because you can watch them on YouTube and somebody be like, oh, and you see this and you see that. It's like, okay, that's great. But then it's just a whole different thing to get there. And then, I hope you can get in at least tight to maybe a shot opportunity or, even if you're only a couple 100 yards out from something, getting a stalk on just to experience an attempted stalk and stuff like that more than you have in the past. So yeah, for sure.
I mean, that is my goal. My goal this year is try at least get a shot opportunity, at least an opportunity where I can draw my bow back and see what happens.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun for sure. No, you were trying to not be offensive, I guess, by saying elk is harder than deer. It definitely is. Like, you can pattern a deer. You can't pattern elk, really. I mean, you can pattern them in the summer when there's nothing really going on. And then, kind of once the rut is over, you can kind of get an idea of what they're doing. But even then, like those herd animals like that, like big herd animals like elk, you just can't put a pattern on them because you never know what thing is going to trigger them to make the whole herd go somewhere else. Like you could have a wolf come through, a mountain lion come through, they take down a calf or a cow or something like that, and all of a sudden the whole herd, they just decide, we're out of here. Whereas
Right.
deer, it's like they just kind of hang around, and something like that happens. Coyote gets a fawn or something like that, and they just kind of still stay there in the same general area. They don't leave because of that, and like they'll leave an area, but they'll come right back to it. Within a couple weeks, or
Right.
depending on what it is. And mature buck, they have something that triggers them. They'll go miles away, but they'll come back to it a month later. They still come back to that same spot. So it's like, deer, you can get a pattern. Elk, it's like, good luck, because they have that herd mentality of, where does the herd want to be? That's where they're going to go. And
Right.
deer, it's like, okay, they kind of have their group, but they kind of do their own thing and come back and forth, and they more or less make a pattern out of what they're doing.
Right.
So no, it's definitely going to be fun for you, I think. Now that you're going to have a few more opportunities to get out there, it'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was really debating on what I should do for my job, and so I was just trying to figure out, like, because like once Chelsea and I get married, we want to have kids right away. And so I've thought to myself, I was like, you know what, this is the perfect opportunity for me to literally just try to be able to hunt as much as I can this September.
Yeah.
Be able to quit my job August 29th and be able just to hunt the crap out of September before our wedding and just enjoy this probably last season as a, I don't know what you'd say, like a non-father in a way.
Yeah.
A not being a dad. Join this last season not being a dad, essentially. Because once next year hits, it'll obviously be a whole different ballgame of how it'll still work it out, like still find a way to work it out, but
Mm-hmm.
it'll be a little bit harder.
Yeah. I'm trying to mix all the family plans, and obviously still have to be a good husband, and hopefully a good father,
Yep.
if the timing's all right with all that stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat there. It's like hunt as hard as I can this year, and because hopefully next year we're kind of in the same situation. We're starting to try and build a family, and so it's like, well, how much am I going to be able to hunt this year? Because it might be a lot more than I will be the next couple of years. But
Yeah.
thankfully, we have significant others who are very understanding and understand, the value of hunting, and it, not only for the meat, but like that is like therapy, going out and hunting, like
Mhm.
the alone time, or even if you're only with like a couple other people, but just to be able to go out in the woods and set your phone down for a couple hours, even like here it's for me, when I go out hunting, it's like I have my whole work day, and then I leave work, go hunt for a few hours, and then come home. But those few hours, it's like I just get to sit there and wait and watch for deer. Maybe scroll on my phone for a few minutes and just be like, this is my time, get to hang out. Hopefully a deer passes by, and then the fruits of the labor too, getting a deer, and the value of that meat is outstanding. And so
Right.
it's like having significant others that understand, all the values, the valuable aspects of hunting for us is like, can't be more thankful that they understand that part of it for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real. I know this is. I mean, it's all new for Chelsea, but she's starting to get it more and more. So
Yeah. No, it took Caitlin that first season, like, because I always watch, I watch YouTube hunting all the time, and so like I'm watching people kill deer and elk and all these animals like all the time. It's like every video, it's somebody has success, and it's like I go out there, and that first season I didn't get anything, and she's like, okay, well, and while we were dating, I had shot a buck in Kansas, and while we were engaged in Louisiana, I didn't get anything, but I didn't hunt that hard. And then first year in Nashville, I didn't get anything, and so she was just kind of like if you're hunting, like, well, where's the deer? Where's the meat? Like, how are you not killing anything? And then
Right.
it's like, okay, we got to take a step back and understand the whole process. And, she wasn't like grilling me, being like, what the heck are you even doing out there? But it was like, where you're hunting, but you're not like coming home with any deer. What's the story? And it's like, we're learning. And then last year coming back with one, and she's like, I'm understanding the whole process, and it's great to have a deer. And it's like, okay, it's all adding up. And so it might take a season for Chelsea, and also her understanding that this year isn't going to be like every year for you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the 1 year of being like, well, this is what hunting season can look like, and understanding that.
Yep.
So,
What is your plans for season this year?
we went out and put up another camera, just to let it sit and marinate camera, not a cellular camera. We went out this past weekend. Bryant, Caitlin, and me went out, hung one up, and it was right there by where I shot that buck last year. Didn't find it, so we'll see what that one comes out with. But we were just looking for sign, and anything that was showing that they were coming through there lately, and there was some. So we'll see. There were a couple other spots that we found that were a little bit closer to the truck that, it's like, I can try that spot or that spot. It's just better to have more places that you can, like, depending on wind or weather or whatever time of day, to access. And so a couple different spots to be able to access from other directions a little bit easier. So I don't know. I also have that cellular camera, and I can only hunt that certain days of the week anyways, so I can't hunt that every single day. But
Yep.
I think my plan is going to be, very similar to last year. I'm just going to hunt probably down in during the week, down in that area where I have the cellular camera, and then weekends maybe hop up to where I just put the camera this weekend. But I don't know. Those are like the best spots that I have seen, and so there's not really a whole lot of other places that I'm dying to go towards, and so it'll just be kind of set those out and see what comes by. And the cellular camera has been giving me some deer, not a lot. I haven't been wanting to go down there for a while, so that I can let that camera just sit there and not bother any animals or anything like that. And so, I'm getting some action, and so I think it's getting to the point where I might want to go either this weekend or next weekend and move that to a different direction to where they've been coming from, and see if I can see maybe an entry point or something like that, or a different spot that I can get them along that path. Because where that camera's at right now, it's good showing me that they do cross through there, but I'm not seeing it's not in a really good spot where I can sit and hunt from that spot. And so maybe finding a spot that I would be more willing to hunt from and setting up a camera there. But yeah, that's kind of the idea right now. And then once the rut happens, you never know. Just sit there, something's going to run by. There's a good chance of it. So.
Oh man, it's all exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have a plan for the rut, and we have a girl who dog sits for us, and she works with somebody. She said, I don't know, it was like late last year because we had her dog sit for us like towards the end of the year, the calendar year. I think it was Christmas last year. And she's like, oh yeah, my coworker, blah blah blah. He's got like a bunch of acreage, and he has deer there all the time, and was talking about he has like too many deer. And I'm like, wait, hold on, just a second here. So we need her to watch the dogs for these couple of trips that we have coming up in September, and we need to plan our Thanksgiving and Christmas trips too. And so I need to get back in touch with her and be like, do you still have that same coworker? Because I need to have a chat with him.
Seriously.
Because that'd be sweet. And I had forgotten about it until, we'd been like solidifying our plans for at least September and being like, oh yeah, we got to go here and here. And oh yeah, we need the dogs watched. And I was like, okay, do we need this person or that person? And I was like, oh, I forgot she had said at Christmas last year that she had a coworker with land. I need to talk to her again.
Mm-hmm.
So I might end up finding some sort of situation like that, but for now, I don't have any private access. I do have a coworker who hunts deer, and he says his family has some land, so I might have to buddy up with him. Brown knows him a little bit. Be like, "Oh, dude, you're so cool. You're the best." Oh yeah, I'll
Please
hang
let
out
me
with you.
hunt the
Yeah.
land.
Hey, if you guys got too many does up there, like, dude, I'll help you.
Yeah, please. I'll help you out.
Yeah, so that's the extent of my plans. Keep it public for a while, and unless I get some random access to private, but that'll be it.
Nice.
Yeah, I've started to consider looking at what like Kentucky would look like, and this isn't for this year, but like going up to Kentucky and hunting deer up there because we've got some family friends that are up there and they've got some land and stuff like that, and I'm sure they'd let us or let me hunt, and so need to look at that. But I've really started looking at like going back up to Wyoming, back to Colorado, things like that, and in the future trying to get those planned out because really starting to get the itch to get back over on the western side of the country and hunt some elk and other things. Antelope would be fun.
Antelope would be fun.
But
I know some potential land for that.
Yeah, there you go. I think the other one that I had seen was Aoudad. Have you heard of them? They are like a sheep, like a Middle Eastern goat that is in like almost exclusively in Texas. And these things are freaking huge. Like they're like a couple 100 pounds and like
Jeez.
beefy, and they got like big old horns, like kind of. They don't like wrap like a bighorn sheep, but they're just like one long like banana shaped, I guess you could say, like rounded,
Right.
big ass horns. But they look like a really fun hunt, and you get a lot of meat out of them, and so that one looks really fun. And my dad has one of his new buddies that lives in Kansas. His Facebook profile picture has him holding an aoudad, and I was like, does he know somebody? Because we need to get in touch with them, or did he just like buy a random trip? Because if he knows somebody, we need to get a hold of them. But if he just bought a random trip, then okay, maybe we can look at buying that same trip. But the Aoudad and Nilgai in Texas look really, really fun to me.
Yeah, I'd be down to go do that shit.
Yeah, Nilgai. Do you know what Nilgai are? Have you seen them?
I probably have. I'm blanking it right now.
Nilgai are an African animal that I don't even know when or why they brought them over, but again, really big in Texas, and so I don't know. They just look like a blast. They're just like really giant. We don't even have anything over here that really compares to what they are. Like they look like an African animal, if that makes sense. And
that
so,
makes sense,
yeah, they are unique, but they're so huge. Like they're like the body mass. I would say they're similar in mass to like they're bigger than an elk. More body weight and body mass than an elk. So there's a lot of meat there. I've heard it's really, really tasty. So that, and it just looks like they are fun to hunt. So between those two, those would be some fun trips to maybe take in the future. But
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Once I figure out how to make some more money, I'd really love to go do a lot more out of state hunts and different creatures. But until then,
Yeah.
I'll just stick to public land close to the house.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. I wish I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I wish Colorado did a um, it's like if you were born in that state, you get a discount for hunting and fishing licenses. I
Oh
forget
yeah.
what it's called, but like Tennessee has it, and it's like if you were born in Tennessee, but you move away and you want to come back and hunt or fish or whatever, like you have a special rate. It's not a resident rate, but it's also not a
Oh,
non-resident rate. It's like between them, and like your rules are a little bit different on like obviously like draw things like that. It's not quite the same. Like you're not favored as much as you are as like maybe a resident, but um,
right.
yeah, I wish I forget the name of it, but I wish Colorado had something like that, especially for elk, because it would like it just makes sense. Like you would want more people to come back and at least put in the money for a draw. But like for me right now, it's like I don't even have a desire to apply because I can't afford it as at a non-resident rate.
Right.
But as somebody who was born there, like I think it's like a legacy license or something like that. As somebody who was born there, I feel like it would make a ton of sense for them to incentivize people to come back to where they were born and come back and hunt or fish or whatever at a discounted rate from non-resident. I would be way more inclined to do that
Yeah.
earlier than later if that were the case.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just think it makes sense for just about any state. I mean, there's a lot of like you name it. Every state kind of has their thing that they have for hunting or fishing. It's like if you're a non-resident, you wish that license costs less as a non-resident, even though you were born there. You no longer get that resident price. It's like, man, I wish it cost less as a non-resident or as somebody that was born there because I would love to go back and do that again. I just can't afford it.
Yeah.
But, no, I think that'd be really sweet. Get back to
I
Colorado at a better price.
yeah, because I think non-residents like 600 something for an elk.
Yeah, which is absurd. I mean,
And
it's worth it if you look at
yeah.
the price of like beef. Like if you were to get a beef, like a full cow or whatever, to pay for that versus you go and you get an elk and you have all the meat from the elk. Just for the price of the meat, kind of worth it, but it's also a gamble because you're not guaranteed to get an elk.
Right.
So
Maybe one day. Never know.
no, that'd be something that find a way to propose it and see if that gets pushed through. But the way Colorado's being ran right now, it's not looking great for hunters and fishermen in
No.
general. So hard to
Yeah.
believe that they pass very many new good things when all they've been passing is or trying to pass are things that are not good. So
Yeah, it's no good.
it's no
No good
good.
here. No good. So yeah, I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah.
But well, other news. I did get a new D loop.
Got you a D loop.
Got my D loop. Shout out to Matt Mason down in Pueblo West. Now he is my new archery guy. I will be going to him for all my archery needs from now on because he took the time and made sure my bow was tuned properly because it was not. Now, that could have been for me shooting too, obviously. But at the same time, he also said, I'm not going to name the shop, who worked on this bow, he even said himself, I don't even know what they were thinking. So it sounds like but there's only a couple shops in town anyways, so they churn and burn a lot.
Yeah.
And so, but Matt took uh, a lot of time with me, 2 hours, and Chelsea was not happy about that. Because I miscommunicated how long it would take. So,
Uh-oh.
but Matt himself did say it should only taken like an hour or so. But it did take a couple hours, mostly because we kept tweaking back and forth with on paper and it wouldn't tune through paper correctly, and then finally it did, and so yeah. Uh, but I did put on my other sight, 5-pin, Trophy Ridge React Pro. I think I put on my regular hunting quiver, so that's up, and then I switched stabilizers to just this guy right here, a 6-inch off the bottom of the Hoyt. I'm not running a back bar or anything. And honestly, this setup right here is perfect. It's light enough and it's definitely stable enough. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm ready to run this year. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So,
I'm glad you got it tuned and everything. We were talking because somebody commented on one of your TikToks that your draw length was like too long or something like that. And you're like, is it? I was like, I don't know. I think it might just be the way you're anchoring. It just, the way that you anchor with that thumb button just makes it look like it could be too long. But
yeah.
then you were saying that your D loop was too long
Yep.
with that old D loop.
Yep. Yeah, Matt told me that it was just a long D loop because I told him, I was like, hey man, like my draw length could be too long. I'm not sure. Like, and he looked at it and everything, and he put on a new D loop. I drew back, and he's like, no, that draw length is fine.
Yeah.
I was like, cool.
It's like it's a comfort thing. Like if you're comfortable and you have a consistent acre, then what is there to change?
Right.
If you can
Right.
shoot well, and as long as your anchor is consistent, you don't need to change it. But like if you don't have a consistent anchor because you can't find it, you don't have like a true anchor, then yeah, I would get it that maybe your draw length is too long or too short. But
Yeah.
as long as it's comfortable and you have a good anchor consistently, like no need to change it.
Yep. And he completely tore me apart with my grip and
Uh
me punching the trigger. So
oh, trigger puncher.
trigger puncher. So I've been working on not punching the trigger. I'm pulling back with 2 fingers now, wrapping my thumb around the trigger,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much having like a circle essentially. And as I'm at full draw anchor, I am now pressing my ring finger, press, and letting it go off and surprising me.
There you go.
So I've been working on that. Matt showed me how to do that, and it definitely there was I want to say 5 or 6 shots. He had me pull back, and he ran the trigger, and not me. And yeah, I was like, oh whoa, legit surprised me. And he's
Yeah.
like, I want that to happen every single time.
Yeah.
And so, shout out to Matt for completely screwing me up mentally and making me rethink my life choices. Just kidding. But no, he really helped me out that night. I was fortunate enough to meet him at TAC. So I met him at Durango TAC, and him and I had a really good conversation. And he was like, "Yeah, man, He worked at an archery shop out in Kansas. I believe it was Topeka. He told me that area at least, for about 4 or 5 years. And he was from Pueblo originally. He went back to Pueblo, and now his shop is in his garage right now, but he's making a separate shop, and he owns, I want to say, 2 acres of land where he's at, and so he's gonna put his separate shop just for his archery business, and it's
Mm.
called Arkansas Valley Archery. And so yeah, I had a really good conversation with him at TAC, and I was like, you know what? And there was no way that I was gonna get into Bear Creek or No Limits here and be able to get my bow back in time for me to get everything like broadhead tuned and ready to go.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hit up Matt. Hopefully he's free this weekend because I'm just going down to Florence anyway, and Florence is only 30 minutes from Pueblo West. And so I messaged him, and he's like, "Yeah, man, come down Friday night. I got you." I was like, "Oh, sweet." And yeah, so that's my story.
Bingo. Yeah, it's good to have a bow tuned properly. I'm really curious if my bow is in tune. When I first bought it, we got it set up, and he put it like centered it, and then we didn't shoot it through paper or anything. And like 5 shots in, he went to adjust my sight for me, and there was like a ball, like that old sight that I was running had like a ball bearing in it, and that ball bearing fell out, so we couldn't make an adjustment. It was like left and right adjustments, and so because that ball bearing fell out, we couldn't adjust anything
Right.
other than height on some pins, and my left and right was not correct. And so then he was like, "Oh, I'll order your replacement part," and then blah blah blah. And so he got me that ball bearing, and he just shipped it to me. He didn't ship it to him and me to go out to him and get it all finished, getting set up. So we didn't set it up with him. And it was like, okay, whatever. I ended up killing a deer with that setup, that deer in Kansas. And then when I was in Louisiana, I derailed my bow, got new strings. And when they put new strings on it, I don't know if they ever tuned it properly. And so I don't know. My bow just may be totally out of tune, and it just shoots good enough as is. And so I don't know. I'd be really curious if I went to Nashville North Archery and dropped that thing off, and they were like, dude, what the hell is going on here?"
They probably would be.
It's either perfect and nothing is wrong with it, or it's like so far off and somehow I'm making it shoot. Like, I shoot pretty decent with it. Like, I'm not Bodie Turner where I'm just nailing 12 rings all the time and like boom, 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 boom. But like, I mean, I get pretty good groupings and pretty consistent shots, but it could be totally out of tune for all I know.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're shooting good, if you feel like you're shooting good, I mean, that's all that matters, right?
I guess. I mean, I was just listening to MFJJ talk about it today. And, he was like, "Yeah, I mean, if you got your A bow, your gamer, okay, everything's perfectly set up on it. Say something crazy happens. What, like, a lot of people go and get like a $300 backup bow. It's like, all you got to do with that bow is make sure it's like somewhat tuned and shoot straight. Like, as long as your bow shoots straight, you can do a quick sight on it 20, 30, 40, and you're good to go." And it's like, yeah, I guess. So right now, I would say mine is at least backup bow quality, if not fully gamer bow ready. But it's like, that's all you need. You just need to shoot somewhat straight and be able to sight in at 20, 30, 40, and you're good to go.
Good to go.
That also got me thinking, maybe I need to buy a backup bow. But I think what I need to do is buy a new bow, like new flagship, and then this bow that I have now can just be my backup. I was thinking about, selling this one to buy the new one, but it's like, this is already a pretty good bow, like really good bow. I may as well just buy another really good bow and then have my backup bow be a good bow also. So
yeah, don't get me started with that because I'm thinking the exact same thing.
no, you just got one. Don't you already have a backup bow?
Yeah, it's not. It's
You
I
technically have a
still
backup bow, but it's not backup ready.
I'm looking at it right now. The cables are still fraying on it, so
Actively fraying, just sitting there.
it's been sitting there for I want to say 5 months, 6 months,
Yikes.
just hanging out. So I have, yeah. So I'll
No,
so
maybe for next season. Well, and the other thing, okay, this might be like my closing thought because we're getting close to an hour and almost bedtime for your guy here. But my closing thought, I guess, would be, um, like the cost of, you go and you want to get your bow tuned, put new strings on it, um, all that stuff, like couple $100 you're talking, especially if you want to put like really good strings on your bow,
yeah,
like it's like a couple $100 there. And then to get everything set up, it's like, man, by the time you do all that stuff, like that's $200-300 maybe towards an old bow. Like, why don't you just put that $200 or $300 towards a new bow? And then
yeah,
if your strings and cables are that bad on your old bow, um, you know, save up for another extra couple months and maybe go back and restring it or something like that. But if they're good enough to be a backup bow and like just not touch it, come next season, if that's the case and like everything's okay enough, but like maybe could use an upgrade, like $300 to totally scrap everything and redo it basically, or $300 towards a new bow, probably going to go with a new bow.
yep,
So
yeah. Might as well.
that's a next season concern for sure. I'm nowhere near thinking about doing that in the next 6 months, but I think that's a thought for the future.
It's a good thought, I would say. So,
Well, thank you.
mhm.
You got any
Yeah.
closing thoughts for Brooksy?
Oh, I do need to get to the range at least a couple times before season starts. I do need the broadhead tune. I do need new arrows. And I think that's it.
Sweet.
I do need to buy a tent.
Oh,
Yep,
a tent is pretty important.
it is important. I keep looking at toppers for my truck. And I was looking at the
Oh,
soft topper, and I was like, I should get that. And then I look at the price, and it's $1,000, and I'm like, I should not get that because I keep thinking like, how am I going to run my setup this year for sleeping?
yeah.
And I thought, well, I could sleep in the back of the bed off the ground. But then I thought to myself, a tent should be just fine. But then the plus, I could just leave the tent back at the site and not have to worry, allegedly. But I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. But those are my final thoughts. It's almost elk season. It's here. Speed goat season here starts in 3 days. So
Yeah. Not going to go antelope hunting, though, are you?
probably not. Just got too much going on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That'll
Not
be
the
a
time, not the year.
Yeah, that'll be a next year thing, I think. I said that last year, but I think there's just too much going on this year. And I'm really just focusing on elk because I got the elk tag and then my deer tag that runs through October through December. So, and that
There
deer
you go.
tag is a private property deer tag. So it's kind of like it still will be difficult, but it won't be as difficult as if I was going onto public land. So,
Yeah. As
but
long as you
it's,
got the hookup and some sort of pattern on them, you'll be all
yep,
right.
yep. I saw a big old muley today at one of our pump stations just hanging. That was
Letting
cool.
it hang.
So, all right. That's my final thoughts.
Awesome. Well, that was a good shoot in the bull. Appreciate you guys listening, and yeah, go follow Brooks on all the socials. Brooks, plug your socials.
Instagram @_Brooks Benson, and then TikTok @Brooks.Benson, and then Twitter _Brooks Benson, or X. I don't really post much on there. I mostly just scroll and look at news. I'll post here and there, but not much. Facebook, don't add me as a friend on Facebook. I will not accept you.
Yeah. I couldn't remember my TikTok. I had to pull it up. TikTok @Full-Fletch Archery, all one word. And Instagram is @_Full-Fletch Archery.
There we go.
That's pretty much it. So
Heck yeah.
Appreciate you guys listening. Like, subscribe, leave a review, especially on like Spotify. That's how people can discover us. I know we haven't been posting a ton lately, but when we do post, hopefully you guys enjoy it. So go on there, leave a review, let us know what you think, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
See you guys.